If this can happen to a world-class athlete, of course it can happen to women in every sector of the economy.
The WNBA is dealing with a serious discrimination lawsuit, and it looks like Angel Reese's invite to Gabby Williams was turned down.
Basketball superstar and Olympian Dearica Hamby looking to take the WNBA and her former team to court, alleging she was traded because she was pregnant.
For this story, we need to head over to Las Vegas. Let's dive in.
In June of that year, Hamby signed a 2-year contract extension with the Aces, and in a new lawsuit says she was offered benefits like private school tuition for her daughter and team-provided housing. But according to that suit, all that changed when she found out she was pregnant just 3 weeks later. She alleges she was removed from those housing accommodations and told the team was still figuring out tuition costs. Hamby was then traded to the Los Angeles Sparks in January 2023. The 30-year-old forward posted about the
Things aren't looking great for the Las Vegas Aces and the WNBA, as they've just been slapped with a significant discrimination lawsuit from a former player.
From purely a legal perspective, a discrimination perspective, regardless of what your job is, if you are treated disparately and differently based on your pregnancy, that is illegal.
Reports indicate that D. Hammy has filed against both the WNBA and the Aces.
The lawsuit also details an alleged phone call Hamby had with Aces coach and former WNBA star Becky Hammon. Hamby says Hammon called her a question mark, accused her of lying about when she found out she was pregnant, and said she was not taking proper precautions not to get pregnant. The discrimination suit goes on to say that Hamby asked, "You're trading me because I'm pregnant?" To which Hammond responded, "What do you want me to do?"
D. Hammy, an all-star in the WNBA and a recent Olympic bronze medalist, is claiming discrimination. She had a standout college career at Wake Forest and was the 6th overall pick in the 2015 WNBA draft by the San Antonio Stars.
Attorneys for the Los Angeles Sparks player say the lawsuit comes after Hamby was subjected to, quote, repeated acts of intimidation, discrimination, and retaliation. Her legal team says in January 2023, the Aces traded Hamby because she was pregnant. Hamby claims coach Becky Hammon asked her if she planned the pregnancy and questioned her dedication to the team.
Hamby played for the Stars, which are now the Aces from 2015 until 2022, and has been with the Los Angeles Sparks since 2023. The federal lawsuit alleges that there were multiple instances of intimidation, discrimination, and retaliation that took place in January 2023, particularly surrounding Hammy's trade due to her pregnancy.
This lawsuit raises very real questions about whether a league that exists to empower women understands that women have the right to control their own destiny.
According to her legal team, just days after helping the Aces secure their first WNBA championship, Hammy made her pregnancy public. She had informed her coach, Becky Hammond, and the coaching staff about her pregnancy back in early August.
Obviously, she has a different opinion, and she's allowed to have that opinion. But that's not how I saw things go down with my conversation.
The WNBA investigated Hamby's claims after her 2023 complaint, later suspending the Aces head coach for 2 games for violating league and team workplace policies. But Hamby argues the investigation was not properly conducted. She is now seeking compensatory damages.
Hammy claims that after she voiced her concerns over the trade, the Aces retaliated by trying to unlawfully access her private medical records after telling her she was no longer with the team. During a phone call with Hammond, Hammy alleges the coach implied that her pregnancy was an issue by stating that no one expected her to get pregnant again, suggesting that by signing her contract extension, Hammy had agreed not to become pregnant during that time.
I don't recall my relationship with Hamby being anything but on the up and up. To have your name kind of be associated with something like that, which you know is not who you are as a person. It's not how I operate. I handled Dearica with care from day one when she told me.
This is wild. Are you seriously saying that these women are being told they can't get pregnant if they want to extend their contracts? Plus, on October 1st, 2022, General Manager Williams told Hammy that she had to leave the team-provided housing. No explanation was given for this decision.
Hamby was then traded to the Los Angeles Sparks in January 2023. The 30-year-old forward posted about the move on social media, saying being traded is part of the business. Being lied to, manipulated, manipulated and discriminated against is not.
And Hammy claims that they forced her out of her housing situation right after she publicly announced her pregnancy. Now, let's talk about the WNBA's investigation.
And in May of 2023, imposed penalties on the Las Vegas Aces, suspending Coach Hammond for 2 games without pay for violating league and team respect in the workplace policies related to comments made to Hamby in connection with her pregnancy, and rescinded the team's first-round draft pick for 2025.
When the league kicked off its investigation in 2023, they didn't even interview any players from the Aces. Hami argues that if they had talked to the players, they could have confirmed all the details before she decided to file a lawsuit. Those players could have shared important conversations between her and the Aces, as well as other relevant individuals.
But I'm going to play, and I told Kurt, hold me to the same standard you would as if I was fully healthy or not recovering from pregnancy. And
as you can see, she has filed a lawsuit against both the WNBA and the Las Vegas Aces.
Because I'm capable. I was physically cleared at 4 weeks.
Right now, this isn't looking good for the league, especially with claims that women could be traded or suspended for getting pregnant. It's unbelievable. What's even more shocking is that we have no idea how long this kind of treatment has been happening to women in the league. There's been a lot of discussion about how straight women aren't being treated fairly in the WNBA.
Here's the reality. Tommy's right. It's not just race, though. It's also sexuality. Caitlin Clark is a white heterosexual woman in a black lesbian league, and they resent and are jealous of all of the attention and the shoe deal that she got.
This lawsuit is just outrageous. There's a lot more to this, and it runs deep. You can find more details online or read the full lawsuit, but these allegations against the Las Vegas Aces and the WNBA are definitely alarming. Switching gears to another topic, we all know that Angel Reese reached out to the incredible Gabby Williams, the French Olympic superstar. Let's break down what happened. Angel tweeted yesterday, "Okay, now that the game is over, do you want to join the Chicago Sky again?" Directed at Gabby. She figured it was worth a shot, LOL. Gabby responded almost instantly, and you won't believe what she said. Let's check out her tweets. Gabby replied, "They did me dirty, girl, but I'm still your biggest fan," and added, "Or we could just play together for another team." Angel responded with a sigh and a crying emoji. Clearly she's not keen on going back to the Chicago Sky, but she's open to playing in the WNBA again. Now, onto my final story. There was an earthquake that happened while Rebecca Lobo, Seth, and Malika Andrews were on air. It was caught live on ESPN. Let's roll that footage. That was the moment during Malika Andrews' segment on ESPN, and she's blowing up online for her reactions to that earthquake. It seems that Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi had some things to say to the critics who were mocking them about their Olympic performance. For this one, we need to head down to Phoenix. We all saw how things turned out at the Paris Olympics. Honestly, Team USA struggled big time. After that all-star game, they just didn't seem to click. The team chemistry was off, and it showed on the court, especially since they lost by just 1 point. Gabby Williams really brought it, man, and let's be real, Diana Taurasi barely saw the floor after her rough start.
It's really tough. I think every Olympic cycle, there's a story of a snub.
I was just of the mindset that Caitlin Clark needed to be on this team.
There were many people who were cheering against Team USA today because they wanted Caitlin Clark on that team, and they wanted a reason to point to that Caitlin Clark should have been on that team.
He was saying, it proves the reason for keeping Caitlin Clark off the team since they won the gold medal.
Now that the U.S. has gold, is the U.S. vindicated in keeping her off of that team?
Yeah. There's vindication that happens by winning, obviously. The ultimate goal in the Olympics is to win gold.
Looking at the Olympic run, I don't think this justifies the reason for having Diana Taurasi and Chelsea Gray on the squad.
They won gold, so I think they're okay with that. Obviously, there are people and detractors who, from the beginning, thought that Caitlin Clark should be on that team, and that's all fine and dandy. We all understand that conversation, but the conversation should be the USA women has now won 8 Olympic gold medals in a row. Their dominance has been cemented. And yes, a big what if, a big what if France wins that game and USA loses. And then this conversation would be on a astronomical.
It would be
on an astronomically different plane.
Does it?
They were balling poorly over there. I mean, y'all saw the numbers. That was my biggest thing about the whole Olympic roster. Chelsea was still, I feel like she's still hurting. She can't even sprint up the court. I'm not even trying to clown on her, you feel me? I'm just straight up saying you didn't need to send them.
And as dominant as USA basketball has been, she said they have a healthy fear for this Nigerian team.
I mean, I get it. Maybe you were just trying to get them that gold medal. Everybody who was saying Caitlin Clark should be on the team, we already knew they were going to win the gold.
Now, I didn't quite understand how you bench Diana Taurasi, how you can't find any time for one of the greatest players ever, who can shoot, by the way. You needed some long-range snipers, and Team USA had problems with it. They just lucky their defense is so damn elite.
But we knew for sure Caitlin Clark could go over there and ball out. That's what we knew.
13,000 plus people that showed up at some of Team USA's games for the women. When over 20,000 were showing up for other games. Box office matters. I ain't apologizing for that to a damn soul. We want to act like it doesn't matter, but it does.
Nobody was saying they were going to lose the gold without her, so it don't prove anything. She ended up with 0 points, 0 assists, and 5 fouls in just 2 games. Fans were not eager to see her play. She had to face the reality that she's not the player she once was. It felt like she was just a spectator.
I'm sure Caitlin Clark's about to make a lot of money.
She's earning her money right now.
No, Caitlin's balling right now. I mean, I don't have a box score, but at one point, is this where we talk about her being our child?
Oh.
All right, I'm going to let you deal with it. You're the mom.
This is our firstborn, Caitlin Clark. As you can see, she has the passing ability of Shoshana Bird. She has the pull-up. She has long-distance range, like middle linebacker Taurasi. And she has the swaggy competitiveness of both of us.
I'm just keeping it real. Social media was quick to criticize Diana Taurasi's performance, suggesting that Caitlin Clark should have taken her place. Honestly, Caitlin would have likely made a bigger impact for Team USA than Diana did from the sidelines.
Obviously, a lot was made of this matchup between yourself and Diana Taurasi. I know she's one of your idols. How big is it for you to get a win here against her today?
I'm just happy we won. It was cool to play against her, and obviously a really great game. And like you said, this crowd was absolutely incredible.
But here's the twist. Taurasi reportedly had a clever comeback after being benched during the gold medal game. Yes, she didn't step on the court at all. The legendary Diana Taurasi didn't play a minute in Team USA's nail-biting win over France this past Sunday. She made history by earning her 6th Olympic gold medal in the U.S. women's basketball team's 66 victory, but she was on the bench the entire time. At 42, she surpassed former teammate Sue Bird for the most gold medals in Olympic basketball history, all while watching her teammates secure the program's 8th consecutive gold medal at the Paris Games, with Aja Wilson and Kalia Copper stepping up against a tough French squad. After the victory, Taurasi was asked how it felt to surpass Bird and become the leader in Olympic basketball golds for Team USA. She replied, "Yeah, it's the only reason I came." Taurasi added, "It's funny because we scored the same amount of points today." Essentially, she was pointing out that even though she snagged the gold medal, Sue Bird also didn't score in her last game. But let's be real, who was sitting on the bench? She celebrated like she actually contributed, but all she did was cheer and coach. When we reflect on this Olympics, we'll remember how Caitlin Clark was overlooked so Taurasi could secure her 6th medal, surpass Bird, and make history. That was the main focus. They probably knew she wouldn't play. Taurasi might have gone into this competition injured because it seems people forget that before the Olympics, she was uncertain about participating, especially since Caitlin Clark was being considered as her replacement due to injury. It's starting to look like she might have been hurt during the Olympics. This is wild. Moving on to another story, Brittany Griner had a blunt message for her critics after winning gold in Paris. Griner and the U.S. women's basketball team secured the gold medal with a nail-biting 66 victory over France on Sunday. Griner, who saw limited action with just 5 minutes played, finished with 4 points and 2 rebounds off the bench. So it seems both Griner and Diana Taurasi spent significant time on the bench during these Olympics. The Phoenix Mercury organization is raising eyebrows as these veteran stars didn't see much playing time in Paris. Many fans took issue with Griner's emotional reaction reaction during the medal ceremony, with some saying she shouldn't have been crying when she didn't stand for the anthem during protests in the past. Of course, Griner had just returned from nearly 10 months of detention in a Russian prison after being caught with a THC vape cartridge, which led to a high-profile prisoner swap. After her Olympic experience, Griner took to social media around 3 hours ago to share photos of her gold medal along with a message. Some love to see it, some hate to see it, but you all see it. Brittany Griner is making it clear to her critics that despite the negativity, she still secured the gold, and everyone saw it. Big ups to her for winning gold, but let's be honest, they didn't win in a flashy way. It was a close call, and to be real, neither she nor her teammate really contributed to that win. This whole situation raises questions about Team USA. Now, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are gearing up for their Olympic debuts in 2028, but only if the committee gets it right. Honestly, they should consider revamping the committee because it's obvious they don't know how to put together the best basketball team. What we witnessed was pretty rough.